Okay, today we'll concentrate like how to work with the sealed classes and sealed methods. So generally,
Okay.
so far we did with the different types of classes and the members which are associated with the classes, properties and as well as with functions and data members and partial classes, interfaces, abstract classes. Like that, we did many things. As sealed class is also one of the concept. By using when a class is marked as a sealed class, which indicates that class is a non-inheritable class, which means that we
Okay.
can't inherit that class whenever we mark a class as a sealed class. Basically,
Okay.
if you don't want to reuse the members of a class, a particular class, then we'll mark that keyword as a sealed class. We can create an object for the sealed class and we directly use that members until and unless if it is a non-sealed class. So generally whenever we are using a sealed class, generally sealed classes are there at the end of your program, which means that there is nothing after the sealed class. This is one of the best practice. Why? Because it doesn't allow us to do inheritance, and as well as it doesn't allow us to get the implementation of the particular members to some other classes. That is the reason where which is available at end of the program. Okay, as
Okay.
usually normal features are available, like we can create an object. By using that object we can consume the members, and as well as access modifiers also same. Whatever you declared, that will be available. If you are not declared to the particular member, then it is treated as a private members. If you are declared, then whatever the declarations, as per the declaration, that will be which is available. In a member which is associated with a method, means if if we declare a method inside a sealed class, then we will call it as a sealed method. So we cannot use that sealed method in another classes, but we can use in the main class by using an object. Okay, that is the concept related to the sealed class.
Okay.
We can't access this outside of the class, so
Okay.
which can be possible through object only. Syntax is generally, so how the syntax with partial class, similar way, instead of partial we use it sealed class. Okay, sealed is a keyword, sealed keyword space class keyword space class name. Normal
Okay.
method, normal methods, whatever we want to declare, all the methods we can declare here itself. Let us do a sample program, so that we can understand now. Just I want to create a new class for this. sealed space class space my sealed class. Just I gave a name like this. Now I want to declare one method, public void. So just I want to declare public int get some number. So just I want to take one random class. I'm creating an object for this. So here what I'm trying to do is I want to print a random number. Okay. So here we have some next function. Suppose 100 to like. See here, random is a class. Okay, by using this class, we can generate a number. Okay, under this random class, we have one method, that is nothing but next method. So we have to pass two input values. Means why we are going to pass means this is a minimum value, this is a maximum value. In between 100 and 1 lakh, it generates one number. Okay, likewise randomly if you execute the same thing, it will provide another number. If you execute next time again, it will execute it will provide another number like this. Generally we have a concept of OTP number generation, right? So generally whenever we are going to log in any of the e-commerce based applications or banking applications, they're trying to send some number to us in order to validate whether we are an authenticated user or not. Similarly, this type of this random that number is generated based on this random class. Okay, so that is a unique number which is always for every execution it generates a different number to us. Okay, generally in real-time systems that we can save in database, so we can access we can cross verify with the user whether all generated number and user type number is same or not. If same, then only they will allow us to do further operations. Otherwise they can deny that and they will raise that invalid authentication or something like that. Some messages are displayed by the user. Okay, so generally this is a method. I want to generates one number. My number starting value will be 100 and max value will be 1 lakh. In between this some number is generated for us. This is my sealed class. Say for example I want to create one more class here. So generally my sealed, this is the class. So here I implemented public void this is my method. So just I want to display some message like this is my method. Now I'm trying to inherit my sealed class to this class. Okay, my sealed class is not visible here. If I forcefully copy this and if I forcefully paste it here, if I am trying to execute this program, it generates an error. That it cannot derive from sealed type, which indicates that so we are not able to derive from the sealed class. Okay, this is an error which is provided. So by this you can understand sealed classes are non-inheritable classes or non-derivable classes. So we can consume the members of sealed classes by directly creating an object of the particular class. Obj equal to new my sealed class. So just obj dot get number. So just I want to display this number. So console dot write line my random number is console dot read line. If you want to use this class, then we have to create an object. Okay, yeah, usually how we generally did a program. So similarly we'll create one more object for this class and we can call this method. Okay. So now what I'm trying to do is just I want to set the startup object for this sealed class, sealed example, and I can run this program. See, it is providing 3979, right? So if I want to run this again, the number will be different, 57479. Again number will be different, 37931. So likewise for every execution it gives a different number, 31334, 81070, 79275. Likewise number is different and it generates a different numbers for us. Okay. So this is nothing but a sealed method. If it is associated with a sealed class, then that method we can call it as a sealed method. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is about sealed classes and sealed methods.
Okay.
Next is delegate. Okay. The name itself indicates that it is used to perform something. Delegate is nothing but, so generally like in normal example we have a like in governing process. Just a minute, I have a small call.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. In normal governing process, generally, government will be there and people will be there. So in between government and people, government is for the people, right? They are doing something for the people. In between the people, some government officials will be there. So in this example, here government officials are nothing but a delegates. Okay, they are the like intermediary component for government and people. They understand the ground level problems, and they will like they will send that ground level problems to the government, and both this government officials and government is going to take some decision, and they are finally working for the people. Similarly, our delegates is also going to work for something, okay, which that is required for the particular program. Okay, generally delegates are nothing but an as similar to a function pointers. Function pointers is nothing but, generally by using the delegate we can refer a more than one method at the same time. So if you want to like in normal programming, I have a 5 methods which are available in my class. If I want to call that method, how we can call? Generally we can create an object for a class. By using an object, we are going to call that method, method 1, and next method 2, and next method 3. Like that we can call all the methods which are available one after another. But whereas by using the delegates, we can call all methods at same time. Means execution of all the methods will be done at same time with the help of a particular delegate concept. Means whatever the functionality which are available in the that method, all methods will be executed at the same time, so that it will provide a one-time result from all 5 methods itself. Generally, if we want to execute more than one method with normal class implementation, we can't achieve. Why? Because our execution flow will be one after another. After executing a first method, then only second method will execute it. Likewise, third method will be executed. Likewise, fourth, fifth, like that, our process will be there. But when you are using delegate, we can call or we can execute all the methods at same time. So here these are going intended to do something. These are intended to do something, that is nothing but it is going to perform some operations with the help of a particular method itself. Okay. So now let us see delegates, like when we are going to use the delegates in our programming, that we can check. So generally delegate will have some syntax. In order to do program with the delegates, it requires some basic things. The things is, say for example, nothing but function pointers, which are used to refer functions, multiple functions at the same time. Delegates are divided into two types. They are single cast delegate and other is a multicast delegate. Single cast delegate means by using this we can refer single function at a time. Multicast means by using this we can refer multiple functions at a same time. So in order to do this, like delegate, it requires following things. First is signature of the delegate and signature of the referring method should always be same. Should always be signature of the delegate and signature of the referring method should always be same. Okay, which means that, so generally if we have a method have a written type of integer, okay, if method have if a method have a written type like integer, delegate should also written type should also requires the same like same signature, that is nothing but integer only. If method is returning string means, if delegate is returning integer means, then we can't apply delegate functionality there. Means both signatures should always be matched. Okay, and as well as in order to use delegate, it can be applicable Just a minute. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to use delegate, it can be applicable for a for inside a class as well as outside of a class also. Whenever we are using a delegate, we should create an object for the delegate. Create an object for the delegate. Delegate, and we can call what are the methods that is required to execute. Okay. See, I already told that multicast delegate means by using by using this delegate, we can refer multiple functions, right? So like
Right.
multiple functions can be referred with the help of plus operator. Okay. Suppose I have a function like a b c d, say for example, we can do like this: a plus b plus c plus d. Okay. So next time execution, I don't want to next time I want to pass some parameters, right? So I don't want to execute two methods, any of the two methods. If I don't want to execute a method, then we can use minus operator, means which is removing from our existing flow. If I don't want to execute C method, then we will pass a parameters here which indicates that only BD will be executed in this execution. In the above execution, all A, B, C, D will execute. In this way we can work with the delegates. Means plus is going to refer multiple functions, and minus is going to use which is deallocating from multiple functions. In this way we can use delegates in our programming. Okay, let us see how we will work with the help of example. I want to create a new class for this. So just I create one static method here. So my method is nothing but get info. This is a method. So just I provided information that this is an get info method. Okay. Now we want to
Okay.
create a delegate here. How we will create? Let us see. Delegate is a keyword. Okay. And return type for the delegate, and as well as name. So my delegate name is, I'll create like my del. This is the name for my delegate. Here just I declared like this. Okay. This declaration indicates that this is an access modifier, this is the delegate keyword, and this is the return type, and this is the name of your delegate. So here I already told you that signature of a method and signature of the delegate should always be same, then only it can be possible. Here we have a signature. What is the signature here? It returns void, and this is also
Void.
void. and there is no
Okay.
parameters, and here also there is no parameters. Now this delegate always going to be call this method. Say for example, if I'm taking one more method, so void get data. So just I want to pass one integer value, get cube. So just here I want to write console.writeLine cube of a given number is, so just I'm using p into p, like that I'm using.
Okay.
Now see, just I'm trying to create an object for this mydel. So because in order to access any methods through delegate, we should create an object for the particular delegate. So my delegate obj equal to new mydel, and by using that obj we can call what are the method that we have. So what is the method name that we used here? Get,
Cube.
oh no, we have one more method, right?
Yeah.
Get info.
Okay.
Get info. Why it is not coming here? Public, you can make it as a public. This is also public, because this is taking by defaultly as a private. I'm call this method like my object equal to get info. Okay, my object is get info. So when I'm using convert to type void, okay, okay, console dot read line. First we will execute this one. Let me show you, let me explain you how execution will be going on in this program. So I want to create, make this as a startup object. Del, right? See, so just I create an object for this delegate. So my delegate is my del obj dot. Generally, whenever we are creating an object for a normal class, how we will do? So class namespace obj equal to new class name, like that we can call. But here we should pass whatever the method that is there in this program. So here I have a method that is nothing but get info method. I'm trying to execute this method. So just I'm going to execute this method, and it is going to I want to present some kind of output here itself. So it won't provide. Why? Because so just I want to set a breakpoint here. Whenever I'm using this, okay, so first breakpoint come to my main method, and then it will comes to this line, and then it will comes to the next line. Okay, means the delegate calling should be like this. So this is an object for the delegate, right? So we can call obj of the method. Now you'll get to see the output for the particular method. Now here initialization of delegate is done. By using that initialization, So it reads the information from the getInfo method. Once after the reading, when we are calling this obj, whatever the definition for getInfo, the definition will be executed. In this way, we can execute our delegate. This is an getInfo method. Okay. How many methods that we have? Simply we can get to use this method. Say for example, I have a multiple methods, right? Obj, just I'm trying to call obj dot plus equal to, get cube. So I'm trying to call this method, and just I pass 12 as an output. Let us check what was the output and how we are going to achieve this. So generally, I already told signature of this method is different, and plus cannot be applied of operand type mydel and void cannot implicitly convert type void to oops dot del dot mydel. Because why these messages are coming means these two types are different. That is the reason where we can't call multiple methods. Say for example, I'm trying to use one more method with the same kind of signature, get my info. So just this is another matter, this is an get my info, just I displayed an output like this is an get my info method. So when I'm trying to call this method, so just how we are going to call means, so just we can use that method, that's it. When I'm using this, so it is going to execute it, no issues on this part. This is an get my info method. By using this operator, we are trying to execute, we are trying to call multiple methods. Suppose here execution part will be done, right? Suppose I want to execute one more time. So suppose I want to eliminate first method, obj minus equal to get info. Means I am dereferencing the existing method, and after dereferencing, just I am trying to call this method. Now you can observe the output, what was the difference from first execution, next execution. In next execution, your first method won't execute, only your second method will execute. This is an get my info method. In this way, we are calling more than one method at same time within the same class. This example is for the same class. Okay. So in same class, what is the benefit of declaring a methods in same class? So for same class members, we won't create an object for the particular methods, right? We are not able to create an object for the particular class. We directly call what are the methods that are required. So in this way, we will work with a delegate which is available in the same class. Am I clear? Any doubts on this?
No, it's okay.
Okay. If you want to refer this method, okay, you can do in normal approaches. Just you can call get a cube, whatever the value that you have. So for example, 12. Okay. Now you can execute this method. So without having the delegate. So if the method is not supporting the delegate syntax, then normally you can call that method. No issues. If all those methods contain same signature as delegate, so those methods we can call with the help of a delegate object. Okay, this is about delegate example within the same class. So now I'm going to give you delegate example with outside of the class, how we will work with an outside of the class. Just I want to create a new object, new class here. So my class is I'll give the name it as DLEX. This is my main class. Here I want to create one more class. Okay, my class name is del final ex, like that I gave one class here. Just here I want to write a few methods. Okay, methods are like add int p int q, version of P comma Q comma P plus Q. This is for addition and this is for subtraction. This is for multiplication and this is for division. Okay, just I want to minus, and this is enter, and this is division. Okay, these are the methods which are available in my class, del final exe class. So now I want to declare one delegate here. So my delegate is public delegate keyword, and the return type here, all return types are void. So I want to sync that return type to void only. Just I create del as my delegate name. Here I use two parameters, like you can take any variables, int a, int b. Means all my signature of delegate and all my method signature is matched here. Okay, so now in order to access these methods inside a main method, then what is the approach? First we have to create an object, right? So after the creation of an object, we are by using that object we are trying to call this method. First let us see how we will call, then let us check how we will call with the help of a delegate. Okay, see, this is a del final exe. So this is a method obj equal to new del final class. So just we are calling obj dot add of 10 comma 20. So we'll pass the parameters. What are the parameters that we required? So suppose 23, like 3. So obj dot multiplication, okay, 15 comma 4, obj dot division 13 to something like this. I call this method. Let us see how the execution, like output will be. So just I want to change my startup object. I gave the name as del ex. So just I'm running this program. So it gives some kind of error. Let us check what is the error. Okay, so already we declared a del as a delegate name in earlier program. Just we'll change that to my del. Now build succeeded. Now I'm trying to execute this program. So output will be as usual. So addition of 10 and 30, subtraction 20, something like we will get an execution. Now we didn't use anywhere in the delegate concept here. We just declared a delegate and we didn't use it anywhere in our delegate concept. Now what we have to do is, just I'm commenting. This part is clear for us. Generally, usually we'll call a method like this only. Now first I'm trying to create an object for delegate. Okay, so delegate my del. So here I gave this as my object equal to new model of I want to refer some target methods, right? So what is my target method? Say for example, add is my target method. In order to access your add method won't access directly in this program. Why? Because that method is associated with some other different class. For this we have to create an object for particular class, right? So first I am going to do a creation of an object for particular class. So my del final ex equal to obj space new del final class. So by using that object we can access the members of a particular class. So now what I am doing, obj dot I can call add method. Okay. Now so my delegate object is there, plus equal to obj dot what are the methods that you require. You just simply call those methods. All methods you can call. So plus equal to obj dot multiplication my del, so dot obj dot division. Okay. So now I want to pass a parameter. Once like you done with your method callings, then you have to pass some parameters to a particular method. So parameter should be like this, my del of 10 comma 2, like this we can call. Okay. So whenever you are calling 10 comma 2, 10 indicates that your first parameter, 2 indicates that your second parameter. This 10 and 2 will be distributed to all the methods which are available in this delegate. So now let us check. So whenever we are going to call this method, so all methods output will be 0. Output is same. Now the thing is, I want to dereference. Now I want to dereference some methods here itself. Now what I am trying to do is my del minus equal to, I don't want addition, obj dot add, and as well as I don't want subtraction, my del equal minus equal to obj dot subtraction. So now in order to execute this method we have to use again calling approach, right? So generally here I am going to pass 15 3. Okay. Now we'll check the, like in order to differentiate this, just I want to use one console statement with some separators, some kind of separators. So just I'm trying to execute this. You will get output for only two methods because add and subtraction is dereferenced from your existing, only multiplication and division is available here. In this way we are able to call multiple methods at same time with the help of our delegate. Okay, this is an example which is available in the outside of the class. For outside of the class, first we have to create an object for particular class, and then as usually we have to create an object for the delegate. So by using that class object we are calling the methods. What are the methods available in that class? In such a way we can call, means we are referencing an another member, so that we can call it as an, which is as similar to a function pointers. Okay, means the function pointer means is, what is pointer? Nothing but which is going to refer something, right? Function pointer is nothing but which is going to refer a function, particular function. If it is referring a particular function, then we'll call it as a function pointer. Okay, this is about single cast and multicast delegates. Okay, so here we saw like how single method is called. In the similar way, how multiple methods are called. Okay, this ends your delegates concept. Am I clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Next is events. Okay, generally event is a class. By using an event we are going to achieve something. Okay, so what is the something? Means generally we can do any type of operations with the help of an events. So ASP.NET is an event based programming language. Okay, in order to achieve something in ASP.NET we have to depend on events only. Means say for example, generally in ASP or Windows Forms application, wherever you want, generally you are dealing with multiple number of controls, right? Button or text box or checkbox or radio button, many number of controls are available for us. Our programming is always revolving on different number of controls. Button has a click event. Okay, radio button has an different types of events like check changed event. Okay, or clicked event. So, and as well as we have a text changed event for text box, like we have text leave event. We have different types of event. So for every control have some set of events. All these events are going to be worked with the help of, with the help of a particular buttons. When I double click on the button, then automatically it is going to generate one event that is nothing but a click event. Okay. Whenever we are running of a program, when you click on button, then automatically click event will fire. Likewise, whatever whatever the control that we have, based on the control we are going to achieve something. Okay, this control is used for this one. So in order to use some kind of implementation particular control, we have to depend on particular event which is associated with the particular control. Okay, all these events, okay, is used to, we have different types of events. Every event is differentiated with another event, means that every event will have different number of functionalities. So by using that functionality we can achieve. See, with the help of a delegate we can achieve event calling and event implementations. Okay, suppose I have a button as an event. So like sorry, button as a control. I want to do some some functionality with the help of an event. So how can I means, generally if you double click means automatically that event will fire. So generally if you want to do that as a manual process, first we have a one name for the button. By using that name, so we can use dot operator, and whatever the event which is associated with the buttons all are listed there. Then we can use plus equal to new particular event method, whatever the method that we have. So we can call that method there itself, like how we called in delegate. Similarly we can call that in the same in the event itself. Okay, so delegates are the backbone for the events. By using the delegate only we can make use of events in our programming implementations. Okay, so we have click event, text changed event, text leave event, text focus events, and as well as we have a checked changed event. Okay, like double click events. Yeah, different types of events which are available with different types of functions. We can see all these types of events in our ASP.NET, where everything will always revolve with the help of event driven only.
Okay.
Okay, so that we can understand with the help
Okay.
of different types of examples. So there we will see. Next is final exceptional handling. So this can be achieved with the help of try, catch, and finally blocks. Okay, so generally what is an exception? So we might heard this term in many number of times, in many number of ways. What is an exception basically?
It like an error or something that's
Yes, yes, exactly.
that's
So
a
yeah,
okay, like throw a receipt.
yeah. Exception is nothing but a runtime error. Nothing but runtime error. Like at the time of program writing, we can't expect an error. Okay, we can expect a few errors. So at the time of compilation, but we can't expect a few errors at the time of compilation errors. So those errors will be found whenever we are trying to execute our program. In our execution flow only those errors will come. So that we can call it as a runtime error. Exception is nothing but a runtime error. Okay. Can we handle runtime errors? So generally, if runtime error occur means, generally it is directly hitting to the program. So and a program is displayed to the end user. Okay, so that end user can't understand what is going on, and they'll they can treat it that is in a different manner. If it is a client, they can treat it as a different manner, and that is badly impacted to a developer or something, to a company itself. So yes, can we handle an exceptions? As a programmers, can we handle an exceptions? Yes, we can handle exceptions with the help of a try, catch and finale blocks. Okay, so how we'll check, and we'll check what are the types of errors that are available. So we have different types of errors. So those errors is nothing but syntactical errors, you know, syntactical errors, and other is, compile time errors, and as well as runtime errors. So runtime error is nothing but an exception. Syntactical error means if we,
Syntax is wrong.
if we give wrong syntaxes in our programming, then we will call it as a syntax error in our programming. Then we can call it as a syntax error. These errors will be identified at the time of programming only. Okay, so generally, suppose I want to write, console.writeLine here, console.writeLine, say for example. Okay, just I used, instead of double quotes, just I used single quote here. Okay, here only it is providing some red color mark which indicates that here it is telling that empty calculator. So syntax errors we will find out at the time of programming only. At the time of programming only we will check what is red color. So red color indicates that it is an error, something is wrong here, like that we can check and we can cross verify the syntax and we can correct it. Okay, this is called
Okay.
syntax error. And compile time errors. So compile time errors, these errors are identified at the time of compiling of our program. Example is creating an object for interface. When we are trying to create an object for interface, then automatically that is an compile time error. Actually, we won't do so. Like, why? Because interfaces won't support object creation. Okay,
Okay.
this type of errors also we can, we can avoid before executing of our program, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but runtime errors is nothing but calling an, no, we can say like this: runtime errors can't find, like, can't found at compile time. A programmer might not expect an error at the time of writing a program, right? Generally examples for runtime errors is if we are accessing a DB with wrong credentials, which leads to an exception. I have one database. My database will have some credentials, like, no, username, password, and something, right? So in order to access those credentials, so in order to access my database, I have to provide my credentials, username and password. So
Right.
if I am trying to pass wrong username and wrong password, At the time of running of my program only, I may end up with some error. So that error is nothing but a runtime error. Okay, this we can't expect at the time of writing a program. I predict that this is a correct credentials, but my correct credentials are different. So this is one type of example, and as well as calling a files that we are assuming that file is available in my local system. Suppose at the time of programming, sometimes we may assume that some file is available in my system. So that's the reason where we are trying to access that file. But at the runtime, our file may not be there in our local system. At that time, it leads to a runtime error. Okay, these things are nothing but runtime errors. Okay, means we can't expect, as a programmer, we can't expect these type of situations. Okay, so how can we handle runtime errors?
We can have a catch statement, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
catch
yeah,
block.
yeah. We can handle with the help of try, catch, and finally statements. Okay, by using this only we can handle this runtime errors. Let us see what is try. Okay, in try block we can place all of our business logic. Okay, so what are the logic which is associated with our program? We'll place that entire logic in try block. Okay, then we'll see what is a catch. Catch is this blocks is going to provide an particular exception details. Catch block is used to you know provide an exception details. Okay, whenever we are using catch block, means inside a catch block only we'll get to know what is the exception which is associated with this. Okay, and finally, okay, this block is an optional, but it is used to delivers an information to the end user stating that program execution will complete. Whenever we got an information, see, whenever we got an information at final block which indicates that our program execution will complete. Okay, this block is executed in all times, that is
So
in
if it
exception,
there's an error.
yeah, in exception time as well as non-exception time also. Okay, this is nothing but
Okay.
exit point. Okay, even with exception also we'll get with final block, and even without exception also we'll get with final block. Okay, so it is in good
All
practice.
these concepts, you don't know much about Visual Basic, right? Like all these concepts.
Yeah, the
Hello.
try, catch, and final blocks are available in VB also.
Okay.
It is a good practice, like to place finale block where we can dispose unused memories which are declared in a particular block. Okay, which are declared in a particular block. So whatever the unused memory which is available in this, all unused memory will be, disposed with the help of finally block if you are using finally block. Okay, let us see an example how we will work with this. Exception ex. So just I declared my ex class here. So in main method only I will place, no need to declare another class. So just see, first I want to do some program, like I want to declare two variables int a, b, and as well as c also. So just I'm asking an user to enter two values, enter a comma b values. A equal to convert dot 2 into 32 of console dot read line, b equal to convert dot 2 into 32 of console dot read line. Okay, generally I'm using c equal to a divided by b. Console dot division is c. Now I'm using console dot read line. Exception ex. I'm trying to execute this program. Okay, suppose I pass 10 to division is 5. Okay, now I pass 10 0. Okay, so what is the output for this program?
Ten zero.
We will end up with an exception, so that is nothing but divided by 0 exception. Okay, nothing
Okay.
but, so denominator won't be 0. If denominator is 0 means it is nothing but infinite value, right? So these type of
Right.
things, like we can't, like as you know, we are doing many number of programs, but we can't we can't suspect that there will be some problem. So but in real time programming, it is the best technique that we can place that in a try catch blocks. So just
Okay.
all my business logic is there in my try block. So now my catch block. So I would like to take my catch block here, catch. Okay, so here catch contains exception class, and I'm trying to give an object for this exception class. I just use catch exception. So console dot write line, so ex dot message. Okay, here we will provide some informative message. Ex dot message is always provide some information, error, something like this. And finally I will do, this is an optional block where we can use console dot write line. So program execution ends. I just provide some kind of information so that we'll get to understand. So now I'm trying to call this program again. I provide 10 0. So instead of hitting to the program, it provides some informative message to the user, error attempted to divided by 0. So by using this, we can get to understand, okay, something is wrong because of our inputs, so that we can do our program. Generally at client level we'll say, we won't say that is an error, we'll say something. What we'll say? Generally, something goes wrong, contact to administrator. Some kind of message we'll provide. Okay, why?
Okay.
Because they understand, but because we directly say some error is there in our program. We can't say like that, right? Something goes wrong, contact administrator. Some kind of message we will provide to them.
Okay. But the
So
ex dot message will give the actual error
yeah,
message.
it gives actual message that will save in our internal logs. So generally, suppose goes wrong means it will be saved in our log file. So that
Okay.
will be assigned to a particular programmer. Okay, they will check the log file and they will see what goes wrong, and by using that we can identify what was the issue which is available in that. Likewise, we can, so always best practice, try to put try catch block. Even existing implementation is not there with try catch block also, it is good technique to place try catch block. Then only we can identify all these type of scenarios in logs at the time of finding the root cause analysis. All this will help us. Okay, see, try, for every try block one catch is mandatory. Okay, for every try block one catch is mandatory, and even we can declare multiple catches also. It is all up to us. What is the use of multiple catches? Okay, that we'll check. See, exception is a super class. By using this exception, we'll get to know what was the type of error. Okay, we'll get to
Okay.
know what was the type of an error. Say for example, here, if we are well known with all the exception classes, this is the super class for us. Okay, exception is a super class for us. If you know all types of exceptions for us, so say for example, I know divided by zero exception may expect for this program. So I can use particular exception class here. Okay, so just I provide message ex dot message here. I'm trying to run this program. Okay, 10 0. So it provides attempt to 0. So from this message only, because this message is not executed, you find or not, because here we provided error colon and then we'll provide message. But first catch block will be executed because our exception is directly related to this type of exception. If you suspect one more exception, file access exception. At the time of file access, we'll end up with some kind of exceptions, right? So if we are well known about exception type, then we can provide particular class which is available for that particular exception. Okay, but best practice is go with a super class. As a programmer, we can't expect what kind of error that may come at the time of running. At the time of running, maybe DLL is not loaded, maybe at the internet is not there, means some kind of network issues will come, anything. Even though if you know the different types of exceptions, always better to place super class exception. Means if a field exception, like file is not accessible, then only this exception will fail. If divided by zero exception, then only it will comes. If there is no divided by zero exception, if that is a different exception, then again you will get an error. Again you will get different type of error, so that again automatically your program will fail. I will show you how your program will fail. So now I will commenting this block. Okay, I'm commenting this block. Just here what I'm trying to do is I declared one array. I want to declare one array int p equal to new int p of say for example I gave 3 as in, so 10 20 30. This is the size of my program. Okay, means it is accepting three variables 10 20 30, three values. Console dot write line value of third third index from array is, okay, plus, so what is our third index? P of, hello,
Yeah.
what is our
P
third index?
30.
P of, I want to access
30?
the, no, I want to access third index, which means that P of 2, right? Because it is always
2,
starts with
2.
0,
Yeah.
1, 2, like this. Suppose
0.
I
Yeah.
mistakenly given 3, okay, is third index is available here?
No.
No, means not the fourth index. Fourth index is not available. I have two catch blocks. This catch block is filled access exception, and this catch block is for divided by 0 exception. Okay. Here
Right.
I am expecting an exception. That exception may not comes to this group. Means again we will get an error, runtime error. So let us check 10 0 attempted to divided by 0. That is okay. Okay.
Right.
Now I'm executing the same program. 10 to division is 5. After division is 5, we are end up with something. Index was outside the bounds of the array.
Out of range.
Yeah, it is out of
Yeah.
range. So here, how can we handle this type of things? If we are using super class here, okay, if you are using super class here, it handles any type of an exception irrespective of the division. So best technique is, even though you know the different types of exceptions, try to use, you know, super class exception. Then it will handle every type of exception, and it provides some kind of errors to us, so that it is easy to us to handle these type of exceptions at the time of running of our program. Okay.
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 Yeah.
This is, you know, I already said the disposing of an object that will be done here. So generally we can call gc.collect method here. So we have garbage collector. Garbage collector means which is internally called with the help of an CLR, common language runtime. Purpose is we declare this many number of variables, right? A, B, C. Okay, these are belongs to integer type. Every integer variables occupies 2 bytes of memory internally. So totally 3 into 2, 6 bytes of memory here. Here also 3 into 2, 6 bytes of memory. Totally 12 bytes of memory is allocated for this program. Okay, once you done with the program, it is a good technique to call gc.collect method. Whenever this block is going to be executed, automatically it frees that existing memory, because our program will done, means our output will came, but there is no use to place some amount of memory to particular variables. So that this is a predefined class. By using that, we can call gc.collect method. If we are trying to access the files in our program, we can use file equal to null. So we'll check if file is not equal to null, we will, we will make it to empty, so that amount of memory is not going to allocated in memory pool for particular variables. Okay, so in final block, this is a good technique to place. Okay, it is always good to place some memory management techniques in our program also. Okay, this ends our
Okay.
try, catch and finally blocks. Okay, for every try block, minimum one catch block should be there. So which is up to us how many number of catch blocks that we are going to place. Okay, if there is one catch block, you can make it that as a super exception class. Otherwise, it is difficult to us to handle. Okay, if it is a particular exception type, those will be catched only particular exceptions which are available in the program. It can't identify other exceptions. Okay, without this also we can use. So generally, I would like to take one more catch. So just catch, just I use throw as a keyword. Means I don't want to, declare something here. Let us see how our program will be executed in this type of scenarios. Just I'm trying to execute a program. Just I'm passing 10 to as an output. So here it gives a throw, means it directly hits a program like this. Okay, these type of things we should avoid actually, because even it will hit to the program, and it shows directly to the end user, to our to our clients. Okay, in this way also we can declare, but always good technique is, this is a good technique to place. Okay, so now all our things will be available in this exception, and it won't hit to the program even though there is an exception. Instead of that, it provides some proper information to the end user so that they will contact us. Okay, this is the different types of exceptions which are available with us. This ends our try, final and catch blocks. Okay.